welcome to my second part of my January 21st League of Legends Roundup. I'm covering the LEC and LCS lock-in in this video. As you can see here, these are the LEC Week 2 Day 1 matchups. And then the second half of this video will be the LCS lock-in Day 4 matchups. So, let's get started. I take notes on all the games, saving you time from watching the game. Like a 41-minute game between Fnatic and Astralis, which I'm sure you definitely didn't want to watch. I note the key moments, tell you them with the nearest minute for the things that might be worth looking back at, as well as rank the teams every week. I have my power rankings up there above every team. I don't know if really the lighting's good enough to be able to see it, but nevertheless, that's in a separate video. Now, let's get started. So, Misfits XL got us, began week 2. XL came out early and tried to impose their will on Misfits. They took the Ocean, they took the Rift Herald, and then they took a Mountain, and continued to push ahead. At 15 minutes, they were up 2-0, 2K gold, and also went to Hex Tech Soul Point. So, 20 minutes, XL were looking pretty damn good. I mean, game was very, very slow, and they're at Hex Tech Soul Point. It was their game to lose. Excuse me. And, I mean, in the end, they ended up losing. So, sorry. 20 minutes, 1-1, team fight in mid. That's when things started to turn. 22 minutes. Misfits would take the Hex Tech Drake after a 2-0 team fight win. And then also win afterwards, in which case Vethio had a double kill. That's why I made Vethio MVP. He was a key contributor in the fight that turned the game. 23 minutes, they turned that into a Baron, which put them at 6K. So the snowball started rolling. 24 minutes, Misfits were up 6-3, and Vethio was 2-0-4. So he had 100% kill participation on Victor at the time. Misfits would then continue to keep the soul away from XL. XL would stop them from ending at 28 minutes. However, that stand would end with Misfits taking another Baron and then ending the game with a Neon triple kill at 31 minutes. That game, there wasn't a lot to write about because really nothing happened in the first 20 minutes. There's only 2 kills and a couple Drakes taken, so XL didn't really do much with, they needed one more Drake and they couldn't do it. This final Misfits Hex Tech Drake between around 25 minutes or whatever, that should have been contested, and it wasn't contested very well. So that's probably where they could have come back if they had wanted to. Hail Mary. So Misfits are 3-1. So next game, Fnatic and Astralis, my number 1 team against my number 10 team. This game was lopsided, as you can see by the score, 16-6. Astralis ganked mid early. Fnatic then took the Ocean, and Razork had a double kill to set that up. Then the teams would trade kills, in which case Fnatic emphasized the bot lane, and at 15 minutes, Fnatic were up 4-1. Razork was 2-0-2, and they had a 3.5k gold lead. So Razork was very impactful in the early game on Lee Sin. Fnatic would then take the Chemtech Drake. Eventually, they would get the Soul. Astralis did contest it, however, taking a Cloud of their own. Fnatic would win the fight 2-0 afterwards. Then Fnatic would go to Soul Point. So, if you look here between 15 and 28 minutes, outside of the Drake fights, there wow, I can't speak. I'm coughing and I can't speak. So, between 15 and 28 minutes, nothing happened outside of fights around Drakes. Fnatic took the Chemtech Drake, then Astralis took the Cloud, which Fnatic fought and lost. Won the fight but lost the Drake. And then the next 5 minutes, Fnatic would take another Cloud Drake, and nothing was happening until 28 minutes, where Fnatic took the Baron. Upset had a double kill afterwards, so that was contested a bit. So at 30 minutes now, it was 9-3, 6k lead. Upset was 4-0-3. Upset ends up being the MVP. He ensured they took that Baron when the game was still in flux, and also helped close it out. 32 minutes, Astralis had a glimmer of hope with Dajor getting a double kill. He had not a technically double kill. He had a kill before they took the Cloud, and then a kill after the contest. So Fnatic contested at both ends of Astralis taking a second Cloud Drake. A fight in mid would happen afterwards, in which case Wonder would have a double kill, and this allowed them to get the priority to be able to take the Baron after a reset again. It started at 6k, and that was all they needed because they took the Cloud Soul with that Baron. It was contested, but they were able to get it in the case of Fnatic. And then Fnatic ended the game at 41 minutes. It was definitely the longest game of the day by a significant margin, by about 10 minutes. So I would hope Fnatic would be able to close the game out better than they did, but I think they were really hell-bent on getting the Cloud Soul when they probably could have focused elsewhere after a certain point and just ended. Third game, SK and G2. This was a little more lopsided, not a lot written here because the game was pretty slow in the beginning. The first thing that actually happened was a Chemtech Drake was taken by SK. G2 would get a kill to take the Rift Herald. G2 would then take an Infernal. SK get a pick. Broken Blade gets a solo kill on Gen X at 14 minutes if you want to see that. 18 minutes, G2 would take a Mountain after a contest that went 2-1 in their favor. So at 20 minutes, G2 are up 4-2. Broken Blade's 2-0-2, and they have a 2.5k gold lead. As I was typing that, Sertus had a double kill for SK, so SK were still in it. I mean, the gold lead wasn't enough to, put them out of the game at that point. However, they could not end up winning these team fights around objectives. 23 minutes, G2 would go to Soul Point 1-1. Then the next contention on the map, on the Rift, G2 would win for Mountain Soul 4-0, in which case Flacked had a double kill. A triple kill. So, that was the thing. SK came so close. They had the right idea to contest these objectives, but in the end, the team fighting wasn't there. It wasn't able to match up to G2. G2 then would take the Baron and then end the game with a double kill at 31 minutes. 15-5, Broken Blade's my MVP. He set the tone with that solo kill in the early game to keep them ahead early, and then also played a role in the fights during the latter stages of the game on Akali. His Akali was powerful. I think he got player of the game anyways, outside of my own player of the game rankings or whatever. So, I'm surprised how Broken Blade's done. He was the only he was one of the people I was really watching and I was concerned about for G2. He's very hit or miss, and so far he's hit this year. Vitality finally won a game. They beat BDS. Pretty good. This score actually is not an indication of how the game actually really went. It was a little more lopsided than that, but they dove Fountain at the end. 4 minutes, actually. Syncroft would solo kill Selfmade, even though Selfmade becomes MVP of this game. Syncroft, once again, looked good for BDS. He looks like a jungler that will, by the end of Season 12, be somebody you want to look at for Season 13 as somebody who could really carry a team. Vitality would clean him up afterwards, then take the Cloud. Vitality ganks mid, gets a 2v2 kill bot at 10 minutes, turns that priority and bot lane into an ocean. Now they have 2 Drakes. Eventually they would take the Mountain Soul. Vitality would then go to bot again, in which case Selfmade would get a double kill on Olaf in a 2v3. Originally that fight started, BDS ganked bot, got a kill, and then Vitality said, we're going to 2v3, and Selfmade was able to get a double kill and turn it. So at 16 minutes, Vitality are up 5-2, 5k gold, and Selfmade was 3-1 on Olaf. Like I said, Vitality ends up getting the Mountain Soul, so they go Soul Point, uncontested. A fight 2-2 in mid occurs at 21 minutes. However, at this point, Vitality is up a big in gold without really doing much. By 23 minutes, they're already up 9k gold, and they push that to 12k before the Baron is done. 24 minutes during that Baron, they take the Soul, and before the Baron's done, they end through bot. It was a really easy, clean game for them. Definitely the best game Vitality's played so far. Winning, you could say, obviously they won, so of course it's the best game, but they also played Fnatic last week. They played some good teams, and, they can play great against Fnatic and still lose. They could play better against Fnatic and still lose than they would against Astralis and still win, so I mean, it's one of those cases in that situation. So Selfmade looked good. I mean, he was the carry in the early game. I thought that 2v3 was pretty impressive at 14 minutes if you want to see that interaction. Olaf might get picked more often in the case of Vitality, at least. Maybe he'll earn a ban after this. The final game of day one was the crown jewel of the day, Rogue and Mad Lions, number 2 and number 3 on my board. Definitely two world contenders. Game was very lopsided. The score is not an indication, similar to this. There's a lot of tower screwing around at the end of the game. Nevertheless, Rogue came out and punched Mad in the mouth to start. They ganked mid. They went top. And then the teams would trade kills. So in the early game, things were all over the place in the favor of Rogue. Rogue would use that priority to take an ocean. Then the teams would trade kills once again. Rogue would get win 2-1 at 15 minutes in the bot jungle. And all this chaos that I just went through resulted in Rogue being 7-4 and Larson 3-0-2 at 15 minutes. However, I don't mention a gold lead because there was none really at that point. The game was anyone's game still. It was chaotic, but it was Larson against Unforgiven. Unforgiven was getting a kill in return in all these fights, and that was building him up. Rogue would then take the Cloud. Eventually, Rogue gets the Mountain Soul in this game. Odoamne gets a double kill. He gets involved at 19 minutes in bot. 20 minutes, Rogue would win 2-1, and that turns into a Baron, which they won in a 4-0 team fight win. The Mountain Soul point was uncontested. So 25 minutes now, the game is 15-6 in favor of Rogue after that 4-0 team fight win, the 2-1 team fight win, the Odoamne double kill. I mean, they were crushing them between the minutes of 15 and 25. Rogue ended up just taking over in this game. Those fights ended up giving them priority in the lanes that they needed to be able to farm and push Mad Lions out of their face. Larson was 4-0-6 at the time. But the gold lead was still only 6K. I mean, it was good, a healthy gold lead, good enough. But 15-6, you'd expect more. The Mountain Soul was contested. Larson got a triple kill to ensure that. That's why Larson's the MVP. I mean, he was already a carry in the early game, the mid game for them. But he closed it out, getting the Mountain Soul. They then took the Baron, which got them to a 10K gold lead. And as you know, 10K gold lead is pretty much death sentence. They closed it out with that. Odoamne with the double kill. So, Rogue played a pretty good game. Clean. There's nothing in there where I say, wow, Mad Lions fought back. Mad Lions really didn't. They sucked. I would even say Excel tried harder against Misfits. They at least, stopped them when the game was getting out of hand. They were able to say, hey, no. Not hey, no, but just push them off, get out of here. And they made him recall and reset and have to do it again. Whereas Mad Lions had no answer for Rogue after that second Baron. Even the first one, sure, you contested the Mountain Soul, the fourth Drake, but why didn't you contest the third one? Why'd you give it away for free? The game was still close at the second one. After 15 minutes, there was that second one. The Cloud was, even footing for both teams, and Mad Lions slacked off and didn't try and do anything about it. So I'm sure they're going to kick themselves in their macro decision making. Come tomorrow, whoever they play. I don't even look at the schedule until day of. So stay tuned. I'm going to go over my LCS lock-in. All right, now on to the LCS lock-in. We finish out this day. Sorry if the angle's bad. I am beat. I've been up since 2 in the morning, starting with LPL. This is a grind on Friday and Saturday. So, LCS lock-in. CLG and Dig played the first game. River debuted for Dig. Finally coming in and being able to play with the team. Dig would get first blood in the 3v3 in bot lane. CLG would answer by getting an Ocean. CLG would then make a pick play to be able to even out the score. 14 minutes. Palafox is already ahead big in mid lane on TF. Dignitas would take a mountain. Both teams would then dive bot lane. Not at the same time, obviously. but there was an emphasis on bot lane in the early to mid game. By 20 minutes, Dignitas were up 4-3, but CLG had a 1K gold lead, and River was 2-0-1. Then, if you see here, a lot of blue occurred because there wasn't a lot of fighting going on. Dignitas was able to go to Soul Point without being contested over the next two Drakes. However, at 28 minutes, CLG would take the Baron 1-0. That would push their gold lead to 6K, which was enough for them to be able to win the game because they prevented the Soul going to Dig at 30 minutes. A 3-0 team fight win where Luger had a double kill. That's where Luger becomes the MVP. I mean, by being the key contributor in that fight, he probably saved the game because if Dignitas gets the Soul, maybe things change. At 31 minutes, CLG are up 7-4. Palafox is 3-3 on Twisted Fate. He had good gold cards all game long, making good plays, creating mismatches, and taking advantage of the fact that Neo didn't have cleanse, so he was able to take out Neo a couple times in fights. CLG then backdoored at 35 minutes, stopping the recalls at Baron of the Dignitas members so they could end. Final score 10-5. Second game wasn't very close. That is a pun because Closer was the MVP. 100 Thieves, they crushed him. The early game was close. C9 was able to go 1-1 in bot lane in a 3v3. Then also go up by ganking mid lane and turning that into a Chemtech Drake. However, 100 Thieves would respond by going top and mid separately in different instances as the mid game began. C9 continued to take Drakes, but 100 Thieves were up 3k gold, and Someday was up 1.5k gold over Darshan at 15 minutes. So, the game was getting out of hand by that point. C9 continued to try and go mid lane to get Fudge ahead on Victor, and they were putting him ahead, but the problem was it wasn't enough. At 19 minutes, 100 Thieves would get an ace to prevent the Soul Point from going to C9. Abadage had a triple kill on Corky. That put the score 8-4 and a 7k gold lead. Closer was 4-0-4 at the time. That's why he's my MVP, because by this point, he has had 100% kill participation and making a big difference on the J4. He was able to identify Sven in every fight for the most part and eliminate him from the fight. And, that was all it took. He zeroed in on the AD carry, took him out, won the fight. 25 minutes, 100 Thieves would take another Drake. That would turn into a Baron. That turned into a 10k gold lead. End of game. Pretty cut and dry, 15-5. The third game between Liquid and Immortals, another cut and dry game. We had some interesting picks. Blippo brought out his Rengar. Blippo would get a solo kill on Revenge at 6 minutes with the Rengar. They would then trade kills in bot lane after that, and TL would get the Rift Herald at 9 minutes. By 10 minutes, TL were up 4-3, had a 1k gold lead, and already had an Ocean Drake. They would eventually take the Cloud Soul in this game. Immortals would then try and go top lane to affect that matchup and get Revenge back on even footing. However, that wouldn't last very long because at 15 minutes, Liquid returned to top to get the Rift Herald again, winning a team fight 2-0. TL would take these next two Drakes without contention before 20 minutes, and then also when they took the Cloud Soul before 25 minutes. Bjergsen also was playing a Zillion in this game, which was interesting, which is why he's the MVP. He was keeping all his teammates alive in these team fights in the latter stages of the game. 20 minutes, they're up 6-4. He's 1-0-3, and the team's up 5k gold. 25 minutes, they're able to push, get their goal lead to 7k and take the Baron, in which case it wasn't even contested. And that's like how the game pretty much got out of hand for Immortals. They didn't match after that. They didn't match for any of these Drakes, and they didn't match for the Baron. They finally tried to fight for the Elder Drake at 28 minutes and lost 2-0. It was too late then. They've been probably the biggest disappointment so far this year. They're already 0-4, and they did not look good at all. They didn't even look competitive in this game. They've got some issues they have to work out. Ended at 30 minutes. This game was a surprise. I'm still surprised Golden Guardians beat TSM Academy, because Golden Guardians is running an Academy roster pretty much as well. So, no excuses. TSM should be better. Or at least closer. Golden Guardians would go top lane and also get up 2-1 because they outplayed a gank. TSM attempted a gank at 4 minutes, in which case Iconic came in the nick of time, outplayed it, and came out with a double kill. TSM would then gank bot lane, take a Cloud Drake, but by 9 minutes, Golden Guardians was able to get a 2-0 team fight win, including Ryoma solo killing Hyper. So Ryoma became the MVP. He had multiple solo kills in this game on Corki and was very dominant. By 10 minutes, they were up 4-2 on 1.5k gold lead. Golden Guardians would then take the Inferno. There would be a 2-2 team fight for Rift Herald at 17 minutes where TSM had it. That's the last time TSM would win anything in this game. Golden Guardians would eventually go to Soul Point uncontested over the next 2 Drakes. Ryoma would solo kill Takeover in the side lane. At 25 minutes, TSM tried to contest the Baron when Golden Guardians was trying to take it. They lost 3-1. Tony Top had a double kill in that fight. And the gold lead now was 5k. 27 minutes, 2 minutes later, with that Baron power play, they ended. Stixxay with a triple kill to end it. Final score 15-6. They crushed them. Final game, Evil Geniuses versus Dignitas. Dignitas had to play 2 games today. EG smoked them. Inspired it smoked them. His gold lead was absolutely crazy in the early game. Mid game. It all started when River tried to dive Jojo Pune in mid lane and failed. He got cleaned up, which turned into a Chemtech Drake. Dig would then try and make a play and get to an even footing. However, they could never make up for the loss in jungle. At 10 minutes, Fake God would solo kill Impact. Fake God was probably the only bright spot for Dignitas in this game. He had multiple solo kills. The top lane became a point of contention after Fake God was able to get that kill. There was also another trade of kills up there afterwards. By 13 minutes, it was tied 3-3. But Evil Geniuses had a 3k gold lead. And Inspired was 2-0-1. Jojo Pune would solo kill Blue at 15 minutes. So Jojo Pune also was on fire with Tryndamere, a champion that is notorious for being able to solo kill others. What I was saying about Inspired, at 16 minutes, he was up 2.7k gold himself on River. Absolutely crazy. Fake God would then solo Impact again at 16 minutes. And then this is where things got out of hand overall. Evil Geniuses at 18 minutes went 3-0 in mid lane. Took the Cloud. By 20 minutes, they were up 9-4. Had a 7k gold lead, so the gold lead's just growing and growing for Evil Geniuses. Dignitas has no answers. They tried to contest the Baron at 21 minutes. Lost that fight 2-1. That Baron pushed to a 10k power play, and that was game. Evil Geniuses ended. Took a little while for them to end after the Baron power play wore off. They just wanted to do a thorough 3 inhibitor end, but they probably could have ended sooner. Final score 17-7. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you liked it. Constructive criticism is good criticism. And I will be uploading a video tomorrow as well with the same stuff going on. So thank you for watching.